I never thought the man I love will become my biggest obstacles to independence. This is my story of breaking free from financial dependence. Hi, I am Judith. Today, I want to share a story about breaking free from financial dependence, the struggle I faced, and how I found my path to self-empowerment and independence. This journey wasn't easy, but it shaped who I am today, and I hope it can help someone out there going through something similar. I met Ben when I was 24. It was at a mutual friend birthday party, a night filled with laughter and joy. Ben stood out to me immediately. He was tall, with a confident smile and an air of success that drew people to him. We started talking and he seemed genuinely interested in everything I had to say. By the end of the night, we had exchanged numbers and I felt a flutter of excitement I hadn't felt in a long time. Ben was successful, charming, and promised me the world. We quickly moved in together and I felt like I was living a dream. In the beginning, everything was perfect. He showered me with gifts, took me on exotic vacation, and always made me feel special. I felt secured and loved, and I thought I had found my happily ever after. But soon, things started to change. It was subtle at first. Ben began to make small comments about my spending habits. "Do you really need that new dress?" he would ask with a gentle smile. "I just want to make sure we are being smart with our money." At first, I thought he was just being practical, but it gradually became more controlling. One evening, we were out for dinner at a nice restaurant. I had ordered a glass of wine, and Ben looked at me with a raised eyebrow. "Do you really need that?" he asked. I felt a flush of embarrassment but laughed it off, saying it was just a treat for a special night. But this comment became more frequent and I started to feel like I was walking on eggshell. Ben's comment turned into demands. He started monitoring my spending and giving me an allowance. "It's just so we can keep track of our finances better," he explained. He said it was for our financial health, but it felt more like control. I felt trapped. I had given up my job to support his career and our household, and now I was entirely dependent on him. One day, I wanted to buy a small gift of my best friend's birthday. I mentioned it to Ben, and he frowned. "Do you think that is a good idea? We need to save money." I felt a pang of guilt and decided not to buy the gift. My friend noticed and asked if everything was okay. I brushed it off, saying we were just trying to save. But inside, I felt a growing sense of hopelessness. Ben's control extended beyond finances. He didn't want me to work, and he discouraged me from pursuing any hobbies or friendship that might take time away from him. "You don't need to work," he would say. "I provide everything we need." At first, it felt nice to be taken care of, but soon I realized how isolated I was becoming. I felt increasingly isolated and powerless. My friends and family noticed the change in me, but Ben always had a way of explaining things that made me doubt myself. When my mother visited, she pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay. I assured her it was, but her worries expression lingers in my mind. Ben will deny conversation we had about money or my independence, making me feel like I was misremembering things. It was confusing and demoralizing. He made me feel like I was the one causing problem, that I was ungrateful for everything he provided. "You should be thankful," he would say. "Not everyone is as lucky as you." The breaking point came when I realized I had no access to our finances and felt completely dependent on Ben for everything. I knew I needed to regain my independence. One night, after a particular heated argument, I found myself crying in the bedroom. I looked at my reflection and then recognized the person staring back at me. I felt broken and lost. I reached out to an old friend who offered me a part-time job. It wasn't much, but it was a start. I didn't tell Ben at first. I started saving small amount of money, hiding it away like a secret. Each day I felt a little stronger, a little more in control. I started to rebuild my life. I attended support group for financial abuse and found a therapist who helped me understand the dynamics of control and dependence. These steps were small but significant. I began to see a future where I could stand on my own 2 feet. One day, Ben found out about the job. He was furious. "Why didn't you tell me?" he shouted. I stood my ground, feeling a surge of confidence I hadn't felt in years. "I need this," I said firmly. "I need to have something of my own." He stormed out of the house, and for the first time, I didn't feel afraid. I found a full-time job, opened my own bank account, and slowly regained my financial independence. I also reconnect with friends and family who supported me. Through this transaction, each day I felt more empowered and confident. I was reclaiming my life. Sharing my story became a source of strength. I started blog to help others in similar situations. The feedback was incredible and reaffirmed that I was not alone. People from all over shared their experiences, and together we found strength and solidarity. Today, I am financially independent and in a much better place. I have learned to set boundaries and recognize red flags in relationships. The journey was challenging, but it taught me resilience and self-worth. If you are in a similar situation, know that you can break free and reclaim your life. Thank you for listening to my story. If you or someone you know is experiencing financial independence, please seek help. You deserve to live a life of independence and dignity. What advice will you give to Judith? Please share your thought in the comment section. If you have your own story you want us to share, please you can as well chat us so we can share your story.